evening and happy Friday to everybody. Welcome to the AfriCanadian Resource Center. As you know, we're here every evening from 6 to 7 p.m. bringing you updates, telling you what's going on within the African Canadian community, learning more about the African Canadian community. Obviously, we are really trying to understand the community because of how we are scattered everywhere across Canada. This is a challenge. It's been a challenge to reach everyone, looking at leaders, looking at organizations, looking at businesses. But this is a mission that we've established, and we are going to go through all of them, even if it takes us however long it's going to take us. Our goal is to reach to as many individuals within the African Canadian community, learn more about the work, and also update you, connect you to the resources that are available across Canada. But of course, we're starting here in Toronto because that's where we're based. Though tonight, we're bringing you an artist from Montreal, from the city of Montreal, who is doing big things. I really want you to listen to some of, obviously, the interview that we did with him, but also make sure to check out the work that he does, because I think one of the things we want to do also is promote, highlight the work of our people here in Canada. And so that's what we're going to do for you tonight. But before we get to that interview and play some of the music from our guest tonight, we're going to give you some of the updates as we do every evening, beginning with the COVID, where in Ontario, there was a report of 1,003 new cases, 1,000 new cases for COVID-19. This is today on Friday, bringing the provincial total to 81,693 overall. Friday cases count is an increase from Thursday's, which saw 998 cases, and Wednesdays at 987. Active cases in Ontario now stand at 8,398. According to Friday's provincial report, about 300 new cases were recorded in Toronto, 280 in Peel Region, and about 125 in York Region, 43 in Ottawa. Man, Ottawa is really doing good as well. Looking at the numbers of people that are living in Ottawa, they're really doing good on the reports that are coming from there. Because again, look at this. Halton region is right here in Ontario, close to us. They only have about 41 new cases. So looking at those numbers and compared to what Ottawa has, of course, Toronto, we just, we've been through it for a while now. Just hoping to have those numbers come down somewhere soon. Also, they're saying that all public health units in Ontario reported under 40 new cases, which is good again, considering obviously that we are in the eye of the storm again. We also heard from the federal government about new measures where they're talking about providing rent subsidies and mask recommendations. If you really want to follow up on that, there was actually a report that was done by the Prime Minister. You can check out, it's everywhere, whether it's in the news or YouTube. There was a press release or press conference that was done earlier today, so check it out. Make sure that you are up to date as to what the federal government is about to update you on as far as the information and resources that they're providing across Canada. Again, as you remember, they have been providing a lot on food, access to information. One of the reasons why we're here is because of those kind of resources that the government has put forward. So we are sure that they are continuing to do that. And yeah, if you're an organization, if you're a leader, if you're even an individual, make sure to follow up on everything that is going on, because again, this is how we can actually continue to assist each other and move through these together. I think it's always the theme of this, from what I've seen, is the collaboration, bringing all agencies together, and that's why we wanted to bring that to the forefront as well for the African Canadians, so we can all find a way to work together, and hopefully we can keep the spirit of what we're doing right now beyond the COVID challenge. Anyways, so that's what we have for news. Actually, what we want to look at doing next Monday is we want to talk a little bit about what's going on in Ethiopia. If you haven't heard, obviously there is a war going on in Ethiopia. There is a lot of atrocities that are taking place, and we wanted to take the entire program. Hopefully Monday, we'll see what day is best to cover the entire the event in Ethiopia and bring you up to date as to what's taking place with our brothers and sisters down in Ethiopia. We really do not want to see more wars in Africa. I feel like we have gone beyond the level of really having to worry about crises and wars especially in countries where this has been an issue for many years. So we're gonna bring you that on Monday. But anyways, that's what we have for you. After this, we're going to bring you our very own Iam Blameless, an artist from Montreal who is a Rwandan. And before we do, let's play a song for you from one of his music that he has done, obviously, over the years.
Ko ngukunda kuko uyu munsi nasobanukiwe uyu munyenga ndimo nkukesha wowe gusa uyu munyenga ndimo nkukesha wowe gusa ni wowe wenyine unzi neza kurusha abandi uwo uzi ikinyura ikimbabaza ukakigendera kure hari utuntu ujya umbwira nkatwarwa hari ukuntu ujya undeba bikantwara mu isi yacu njye nawe twenyine niba ari ibi bajya bavuga ndi mu rukundo n'impamo ndabivuze yuko ngukunda kuko uyu munsi nasobanukiwe uyu munyenga ndimo nkukesha wowe gusa uyu munyenga ndimo nkukesha wowe gusa yeah ay 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 kwihishahisha cyangwa kwishira isi yose ibimenye ko ari wowe from Monday to Sunday ni wowe ntekereza buri segonda kuko iyo nicaye ndi njyenyine nkatangira gucuranga umbera indirimbo ni wowe 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 gusa ni wowe mpora ntekereza iyo ndabivuze yuko ngukunda kuko uyu munsi nasobanukiwe uyu munyenga ndimo nkukesha wowe gusa uyu munyenga ndimo nkukesha wowe gusa yeah ay 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 ay
All right, I am Blameless. Thank you so much for joining us. I really wanted to talk to you. Obviously, we've worked together for different from different activities. But having you on this platform, let the audience know who you are and what you do.
Yeah, like you mentioned, like my name is Iam Blameless, as like that's my artist name, and I'm a Rwandese artist based in Montreal, and I'm a student at McGill as well, doing African studies and political science, and I guess yeah, pretty much that's it for an introduction. And
Okay, and obviously, even me, I keep calling you I am Blameless. What's your actual name, if you don't mind sharing?
yeah, my actual name is Innocent Zaisenga, and yeah, that's
Good stuff. So why did you decide to say I am Blameless? Why did you pick that as your name, as your artist name?
two reasons. First, the first one is when I was like deciding which name to to use as my artist name, or even before that, like back in like O level in secondary school, I was like I was into music, and then I was like I need to have a cool name, you know. And then I was
Yeah.
like I was going through the dictionary, and then I was like I saw like a meaning of innocent. It was like blameless. Like that's it. I was like, this is cool
I
enough
am
for me.
blameless.
Yes,
Yeah, and,
and
I
then
think for you to be honest, when I first saw you, you were doing a song during the Chunamo Kibuka,
yeah.
and the song you did and the name, I was like, this makes sense. It's like almost everything that has happened, especially for you. For people who don't
Mhm.
know, you're a survivor. Um, you're blameless. Like it's not just you, but your entire generation. You have been blameless, and the fact that you're coming from a background that has so much tent to it, being
Mhm.
able to actually like present the new generation and say, you know what, we are blameless, but also still maybe we have something to say or something to do to change
Mhm.
our past, right?
Yes, yes. And also, another reason why I chose I Am Blameless was I didn't want to, like, if ever I sing about something, I didn't want people to just look at it as my story, but a
Mm,
representation of so many other people. Yeah, and
mm,
if maybe something was maybe like very sensitive to somebody, I didn't want them to
mm,
be like, oh, why are you like talking about this? I wanted it
mm,
to be like, I'm only an artist, and an artist is
mm.
representing a view of so many other people who might not be able to express themselves in such a
Yeah.
musical way.
Yeah, and speaking of you as an artist, so when did you arrive in Canada?
That was in 2014, like end of summer 2014.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you got 6 years here. You'll be the right person for me to ask this question. How, what is the experience of an African artist wanting to make their name in the city of Montreal or here in Canada? What has been your experience as an upcoming artist? Obviously, now you've done a lot of songs. I believe you have. How many, maybe tell us how many albums you've done as well. But what has been your experience wanting or trying to make your name out here in Canada? As the challenges, but of course, you can also talk about some of the opportunities.
hmm So it's like the most hardest challenge is, I think, to me at least, is like knowing like meeting other artists also who are like very like talented, and also
Mm,
getting to work on some projects, or also getting like opportunities to get involved with festivals, because like
mm,
also I think in my case, combining all those like with
mm,
school was another
mm,
challenge. But I think the most like challenging moments were like to be able to have like a community that supports you musically, and also getting to link up with other African artists, or even like artists from everywhere. It doesn't have to be African, since we're all trying to, expand like the reach. If you do a song with with somebody from another community, it gives like an awareness of where you're from, and people might be like, oh, so where is Blameless from? And they might want to know more about Rwanda and Africa in general, if the person is not from Rwanda.
The reason why I was asking this question is because I'm trying to see, in terms of when you come here as an artist, because I know I saw you when you were in Rwanda. You did a lot of work. You're involved a lot in music. I was following you, and then of course you're here. The education gets in the way. But do you feel like you will get to a point where you have the same opportunities that you have when you're in Kigali, uh, here in Canada, especially there in Montreal?
Yeah, I think it's possible, because the one thing I will definitely have to say is, I think the Rwandan community, like,
Mm,
is the I think it's one of the most like supportive community. Like, if ever there is like something going on, they come through, support you, make sure that you know that like you're not alone. You know, if our community does not like support like an artist from home, who else will? If you know, if we don't support our very own. And I think the Rwandan community, especially like Montreal diaspora, like they are very very
Yeah.
supportive.
Absolutely. And I'll say this, one of the thing is for me when I first heard your songs, because the other thing we do, so we have like we mix it up. You do like traditional music, or you do songs in our own language, and then you mix it up. You put some English songs, and that to me I appreciate that, because we don't have, not all of us speak in Rwanda, but also you do have an audience that is Rwandan that want to hear you speak or at least sing in Kinyarwanda. So you also being able to do that allows Rwandans to be able to actually follow you and appreciate your songs as well, right?
Yeah, that too. Yeah, that's why like there was an album like since you mentioned like how many albums I have, like I have one already out. I, it was released last year in March, like on the 1st of March, and that album was like strictly English. And then I realized that like you know like for so many other people who might want you know to follow like or like listen to my music, you know, like it might be a challenge, you know. So I was like, I'll be trying to mix like one song maybe in English or like half half, and you know, so that like you know I do not lose my people, you know, like.
But let me ask you this, because I'm thinking as, and I have this challenge as well, which is why for me everything I do is in English. So I guess I don't have that challenge. But if you're writing, like writing a script, or I'm writing a story, in your case you're writing a song, you want to focus on like, how do you decide, you know what, I'm going to put this in Kinyarwanda or I'm going to put it in English? Because you're careful to say, you know what, I want this to be for this audience, but I want this also to hopefully grow and be, reach the audience here in Canada, in Montreal. But also, yeah, like how do you decide which way you to go, like based on on the songs you have?
Yeah, I don't know. Like sometimes it's just automatic. Like you don't even like realize that you've mixed it up, and
Mm,
you know it's just perfect. And like sometimes you like there is a song on my upcoming album that I'm like
mm,
it's a collaboration with like a guy from like who lives here but from the Caribbean, and
mm.
like in the chorus I was like writing the chorus, and at some point I was like. I couldn't find a word, and then like I got like one line in Kinyarwanda, and you know
Okay.
like people who came to the studio and then like they were listening to it, they're like, I don't know what that means, but like it sounds
Well, it
perfect,
sounds good.
and
Yeah,
yeah, and I was
yeah.
like when I was writing it, I was like, this is so like stupid. I don't know, you know, like I was
Yeah.
like since the whole song is in English, like nobody's gonna know what this line means, but you know, like people were
Ah,
like,
but
oh, like,
but if you look at it though, like a lot of like Jamaican artists or Caribbean artists here, when they make songs, they do put their own. I mean, you could say that patois and all those are English words, but when they put it in there, you don't know what it means. You just know it sounds good, and you go with it. So I think it's another way maybe to teach the world about, like, to teach the rest of the world Kinyarwanda. You know what I mean?
yeah, I was like, I had to explain what that line meant, you know, and then like
Mm.
I'm sure everybody was like, yeah, now I know like how to say it, you know. It was like,
There you go.
um, the line is like na undu hunda huko hunda, you know. Then like I had to
Mm.
explain, like everybody is like, oh man, I'm gonna tell my girlfriend like now undu hunda now, you know. So
There you go.
I was like, you know, this is it.
Not only that, by the way, I think in Rwanda, you know how we say like Latin is a love language. I think in Rwanda is the closest thing to like Latin. If you listen to the Latin language, like we're definitely close to that. So if anything, if anybody wants to learn, like you do have a lot of romantic songs, by the way. So if anybody wants to learn about that language, they should be listening to Kinyarwanda music. And I ask that they listen to some of your songs, because I mean you've
Yeah.
honestly, like listening to you, sometimes I feel like we're taking you for granted in our community. I don't know if that makes sense. I feel like we're taking you for granted. You have a good voice. You definitely been able to sort of place your songs in a way that if somebody listens, they can see how you've been growing as an artist.
Yeah, definitely. But I think that like it's a process. Like at first when you start doing music, like people are like, I'm not sure if I like this song, and then like the second song they're like, let's see like what he does like next. And then the more you release music, they're like, okay, so and like with time that they get you.
Thinking back over when I was a teen, when things were all beautiful, with all my friends leaving home so early, and only get back when we were hungry, playing all the games, chilling at the parks. It was our everyday routine. Through the summertime, it was Paris every day, everywhere. Don't ask me why I always cry when I see people in love, because it all reminds me when I was in love. I was once in love. I have done everything two lovers do. I have gone to the nightclubs on the Saturday nights. Whoa, I was once in love. I have done everything two lovers do. Whoa, I have gone to the nightclubs on the Saturday nights. Whoa, like anybody else, the wait was too long to turn 18 for me to be free. Every time when I'm looking at the pictures we took, kissing my lover, it was so beautiful. But now my heart is broken. Everything to me looks so strange. So don't ask me why I always cry when I see people in love, because it all reminds me when I was in love. I was once in love. I have done everything two lovers do. I have gone to the nightclubs on the Saturday nights. Whoa, I was once in love. I have done everything two lovers do. Whoa, I have gone to the nightclubs on the Saturday nights. Whoa, yeah, but now my heart is broken.
Now, I want to know, obviously, from your perspective as an African, who are like the artists to look out for, like, or who are the artists that you listen to that are African here in Canada? And obviously, you are in Montreal, but I'm hoping you sort of have a grasp of who is available in Canada for as African artists that we should be looking out to.
I'm not sure if there are like artists that I know are here in in Canada that I listen to, but I don't know. I listen to like mostly like African music, but like Nigerians, like not like these pop stars, not, but I don't know, like the kind of music that I would want to do like myself, and I don't know. That's like from Johnny Dride, Timi Dakodo, is Adekunle Gold. I don't know if you know those. And
Yeah, you've already sold me. But all these are like
and
Nigerian
also
artists that
Oliver Mtukuzi, like from
Okay.
he just passed away, I think last year, if not this year.
Oh.
Yeah,
Mm.
he's a great. He was a great artist.
Mm.
I love his music, and like so many Zahara, like from South Africa, like
Okay.
like I listen like a variety of like music from all over on the continent.
Mm.
But I'm sorry, I don't know any like Maghreb music
Mm.
except for like Khaled, the Aisha Ekutema. Like that's the only
Yeah.
song like I know from like the Maghreb, and that's like an old song. But yeah,
Okay, but you do okay. So like, okay, maybe a better question is who are the artists? I know there is a young lady in Ottawa that who are they? Maybe the young artists that are they to look out for that people could say, okay, these are the young artists that maybe we should be looking out for. Again, for me, I think it's more so that I'm not in the music world as much. But I'm
mm-hmm,
asking for people who are following our program who want to know, okay, who are the people to look out for, even if it's in the Rwandan community in the area
mm-hmm,
that
mm-hmm.
we should be
Yeah,
looking
yeah.
out to. Yeah.
So the like I guess like it's like the saying "Ija kwishira mu rugo." I'll always recommend people to listen to Ikirezi Deborah,
Mm,
uh, like from Rwanda, and
mm,
Horace Rayo, like a great artist from Burundi, but who lives here,
mm,
and
mm.
Chris Kai. Chris Kai is
Okay.
also making big moves. His
Mm.
brand is, and yeah, like those are like people that I know like who are very invested in music and from our community as well.
And on the business side of music, right? So do we? Again, I'm gonna go back to what I see when I like when you went to Rwanda, but also what I see because I've been following a lot of the entertainment world there, not closely as far as like the day to day, but I can see they're making moves. That is like music producers. You have an industry that's taking form there. Uh, do
Mhm.
you see anything like that here? And if it's missing, what's missing that needs to be here so we can actually have concerts where African concerts where people can actually attend to the amount of 5,000 and so because we do have numbers, maybe not as an individual community, but as Africans we do have numbers. How do we get to that place of we can have a concert and people like you can perform the same way it's done in Africa, across Africa?
I don't know because like here there are like it's a bit competitive and it needs you need to push yourself so that people get to notice you and uh, I think that like our community lacks that like like we don't have like like a place or like a venue to have such kind of events, and I think that would like it could push like so many artists, to to do more. But I think there is a like the no limits the this is no limit awards like it's an
Mm,
initiative of like Burundian and Rwandese people like
mm,
here in Canada who are trying to bring awareness of like great talents and like appreciate like hardworking artists, and
mm.
I think like we as a community we need to have something like that that brings everybody together and like get to discover so many great talents, and
Mm,
it doesn't have to be like musical only, but
mm.
like something to
Yeah,
bring all
but
of us together.
yeah, but I think I'll be interested in like really having like just people who are focused on like music, like actually organizing concerts, because this is one thing that is never gonna go away. As an artist, I'm sure you know, majority of your money as an artist comes from the physical concerts, not necessarily like sales of
Mhm.
albums, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
so if to me that's a business opportunity, right? But how
Mhm.
come, or at least every time I see artists that are coming here from Africa, the organization is not as it should be. It's not because the big names are there. The need for the music is there. They perform great when they're here. But I feel like the way we organize it, like somebody on that side of business is missing. And I guess that's why I'm
Mhm.
asking, what's missing? Like, how come there is no level of production as far as concerts are concerned? Where are those entertainers, or in terms of like making sure that these concerts are put together the way they should be, so you could just show up and perform like you do when you go back home, or at least how it's set up in back home?
I think it's something that like people like we should put efforts into, but again I think it's a matter of like getting together and first of all like understanding why this is important, and like I don't know, like sometimes like we do have those kinds of events, but then it's like one time kind of thing, and I wish that, because like as an artist, you like a lot of time is spent like you like trying to write a song, like going after like the production and stuff. So like you by the time the song is ready, you're like exhausted, and
Yeah.
to me I think that that should be like somebody else, who is only focused on like the post
The
production
business
piece
side, the business,
the
exactly.
business
No,
side.
I'm with you. I'm with you on
Yeah,
that. I
so
guess I'm asking you because I know you want. I'm assuming you want that, because I'll say this because we have the same
of
problem in
course, as
film
an artist,
production,
you
right?
you like it's
Yeah,
not even about like you getting paid like from the event. It's more of like because you make a song, or like you write a book for people to read, and like the only place
you
for
want it to
us as
go to
an
the
artist,
audience.
the only place for us as artists, like that we could share our gifts, or like the songs, like could be like the only best place is like having the songs played in front of people, and like how like for you to see like how people react to the songs, and what you should do next, like if that makes sense. Yeah.
No, it doesn't. And I was saying, even for us, the idea of you create something so you can share it with the world. And obviously, YouTube has allowed for you to do that directly. You could create a song and put it out there. But there is nothing, YouTube will never replace that physical performance. And
Even like
any artist I've ever
the
spoken to,
environment, the
yeah,
environment, like the connection with people, like that's when how much the song can like impact a person, so like you can't see it from like the views, or like you would only be like, oh, the song is nice, the song is doing good, and but then you don't know, like it doesn't have to be like 1,000 views or like one view, like as long as there is that one person that gets impacted by the song, to me, like I always tell people, like to me that's the success of the song, like you know that like there's somebody out there who's like maybe like at one point was impacted, and like 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 their
yeah.
moods shifted from like not okay to nice, and
Yeah. And
yeah.
I'll say for you, you've achieved that, my brother, because just me listening to your songs, it's not necessarily
Oh.
that somebody's in love or whatever. It's just there's some songs you listen to, and you know what, this person was positive when they wrote this song. This person was feeling good when they wrote this song, and so that comes through. That comes through
Yeah.
in your music, and I love that you have that positive vibe about your songs and your music. Yeah, it's really, yeah, something. If nobody told you, I'm telling you, just whatever you're doing, just keep doing it, man.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Like I guess like I think to me like it's like you just have to be honest with yourself, like like write something that speak to you as well, and like the rest is not your job, like people will either appreciate or be like, oh, you should maybe try something like this or that, but then for you you'd have done your job.
Yeah, as long as you put all the work that you can, as long as you feel like, okay, I've given this piece whatever that I could give it, now you just let it fly. I think that's the idea for any artist. Tell me, so now obviously looking forward, you're in university. Tell us a little bit about what are you studying, if you don't mind sharing, and yeah, what do you look to do going forward?
So what I'm studying, mainly in African studies, like we do like like we started this chat like talking about like we look back and see where the continent and sometimes specifically in a country like a specific country, but then we look from where the country or the continent as a whole how the whole life expanded, and then how life evolved, and see the arrival of Europeans and the aftermath of the independence, and see how much our lives today are still affected by the legacies left by the colonialism, and how much of the pre-colonial history are still present today in our daily lives, and how
And
and sometimes suggest a way forward for the continent or the country in general, depending on like specific factors that we're looking at. So yeah, and in
I
political
was just
science,
talking.
that's more general, and yeah.
Yeah, so just for the audience, so you're doing African studies and political science, and we were
Yeah.
talking previously, and I told you how if somebody obviously looking at your music and everything that you do, I'm like, man, it doesn't look like that's what you would be doing. But I was
Mhm.
interested because for me, looking at, and you say this too, we are affected no matter what. Politics affects
Mhm.
us, and not being a part of it doesn't mean it's not going to affect you. You just choose not to participate, and I really love
Mhm.
that as an
We're, we're,
artist.
we're, we're,
Not
we're, we're, we're always participating in politics, because we're all supposed to respect laws, and laws are
mm,
political. So in a way or
mm,
another, we're all involved in politics, because we're asked to respect the traffic lights. We're asked to respect we cannot decide to kill or bother somebody, because
mm.
there are laws that will protect the other person. So we have to behave in a way that you know makes us respect those laws, and that's politics. So
Yeah, and also to the other side, where as an artist you're making music to influence the world. I think it's always good to think about. Yes, you can make good songs that makes people feel good, but also you wanna every once in a while. And I noticed you did a song, you did a cover on Bob Marley. Maybe you could talk a little bit about that. But you
Mhm.
also want to talk about the day-to-day things that affect us every day. Because
Mhm.
it's not always. There is a lot of things that we go through, and it's yes, of course, not when I go from my work, I want to go home and chill. But some people want to go home and also chill on something that can actually make them think and really evaluate the life and where they're going. So I think that's also part of it. Of we're always making songs to influence the world. The question is, how do you influence the world? And maybe you can add to that.
Yeah, me personally, I don't know, on a greater extent, I chose to talk about love, and love, not only romantic love, but love of one another, and
Mm,
politics. I did not want to get myself involved in politics, but I think we're all involved, because as long as you're defending your beliefs, whether it's
mm,
political or not, as long as you what I said, we have to be honest with ourselves and be
mm,
this is what I believe in. And if ever somebody comes and asks me about what I sang, talked about, I will still say the same thing. So,
mm.
and maybe it's because I haven't maybe like done a song that is specifically political, or a message that encourages people to be the best versions of themselves. That's impacting people, if
No, but
you're struggling with
I was
your
for me, I wasn't even leading to that blameless. I was thinking more about the song you did, the Redemption song, the cover you did for Bob Marley. Like to
Mhm.
me, you don't necessarily have to put your own voice, but obviously that song is clearly clearly you're talking about that experience of African Americans or Black
Mhm.
Americans, in this case the
Mhm.
Jamaican. Just always identifying with different groups, because that's another thing that we do as Africans. we should not just be like I was actually having a conversation with someone earlier today. A lot of us as Africans, when we come to America, to Canada, we focus on just our groups and we support the government, but we don't support other Black people that were here before us. And I think it's important that we do that as well. We figure out, okay, what kind of environment am I in, and in which way can I support? It doesn't have to be political, but definitely just making sure that they know that we're with them as well. And a lot of them tend to see us as different because we are not. Whenever we come here, we don't join hands with them. We don't move forward with them.
I don't know, like for me, like as an artist, I think even like having a project with like somebody who maybe like from the Caribbean, since we're talking about like people who were here before us, like for me that's like joining hands like together. You know, like we might maybe like sing about something that is like, you know, like very personal to all of us, and I think that's like one of the ways that as an artist you can get involved and, you know, like be like supportive and yeah.
egera hino hafi yanjye untega amatwi umunota umwe mbibwirire ikindi ku mutima be maze kari ku mutima gasesekare ku munwa ni wowe ujya umbuza gusinzira oh no sinyishobora kubisha mubo nabonye nta n'umwe muhwanye ni wowe gusa nta wundi utari wowe mbona you're the one I dream about every night I'm addicted to you I'm addicted to you hey. Oh baby I'm addicted hey. Oh baby I'm addicted addicted oh baby I'm addicted yeah. Oh baby I'm addicted addicted baby I'm addicted zemera gukora icyo ushaka cyose babe kuko sinifuza ko hari n'isegonda na rimwe bishira utandi ruhande uru rukundo ngukunda ni nka rumwe rw'abamiyo na Juliet oya suguharara iyo nkwiyumvamo ni wowe ujya umbuza gusinzira oh no sinyishobora kubisha mubo nabonye nta n'umwe muhwanye ni wowe gusa nta wundi utari wowe mbona you're the one I dream about every night I'm addicted to you I'm addicted to you hey. Oh baby I'm addicted hey. Oh baby I'm addicted yeah, yeah, yeah. Addicted oh baby I'm addicted yeah. I'm addicted yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh baby I'm addicted addicted baby I'm addicted oh yeah.
So Blameless, you have the song I'm Addicted. Was it Addicted, right?
Yeah,
Tell us
Addicted.
more about that song, but also tell us where people can find like I didn't want to make sure that people understand like your songs are on YouTube, yes, but also you do have your work on I believe you have it on Apple, but also tell us what are the platforms where people can find your music and where they can actually I guarantee you go download his music, listen to it, you will appreciate it. But yeah, please, yeah.
Yeah, so my new song "Addicted" is a love song, and I like always like I was trying to like create an environment where that like, you know, that if you love somebody, like there is no doubt you love them wholeheartedly, and you know there's no better way to say it, but like in my language in Kinyarwanda, like like we mariemo umuntu. So that's what the song is about. Like it's like you like you know I just need a minute of your time. I want to tell you again and again how much you mean to me, and you know I'm just it's like you're like an addiction to me, like you you like heaven on earth.
But you're sure,
So
like, if people listen to this song, they're not gonna be like following their, their crashes, and you're not gonna get people in trouble,
no, like as long as like this is the thing, like as long as you're following your heart, like this is what I want, and there's no way I will ever change, like this is it. And if you mean what you're saying to, like, whether it's your crush or your like your partner, like be honest with them, and
Yeah.
that's what love should be about. And the song, since you mentioned it, it's like everywhere, like on any platform that has music. And also, like, it's like I think the easiest way to find it is like through my website. It's Official Blameless, like www.officialblameless.com. And like it has all the links. And if you go like on the music section, like you will get all the songs on there. And so, I think that's pretty much it.
Amazing. Last question for you. For people who are looking to make music in Canada, African Canadian, think of people who are just coming to Canada like you did, and they're interested in making music. Obviously, you're making music and you're going to school, and I commend you, man. Like, the only thing I could do when I was going to school was maybe go to work, but I wasn't using much of my brain to go to work at that time. So I commend you for being able to like make music and go to school at the same time. What's your advice for young people who are looking to make music right now
I
in
think, I
Canada?
think, I think, yeah, I think what like the only thing I will tell them is, like, do everything, like what you love, like with all your energy. Like, do not stop until you're sure that, like, you know you've got where you want it to be. And personally, I produce my own music. And if I need maybe like somebody else to add something, and then I will ask the person, or like send the project to the person to add something. But then, like normally I do my own music. So, if you think about it, it's not just me being like a singer, but also, like, spending time working on the songs also like takes time. But then if you love it, you're not gonna be feel like exhausted, or like, you know it- when you do something that you love, there's no way you're gonna stop. And if you
Yeah,
have that thing that you're very passionate about, go for it. And
yeah,
the sky is only the beginning.
yeah. Now I'll say this: you're right. I think I'm sort of adding to what you're saying. If you love what you do, if you know because talent can be developed. This is one thing that I've
Hmm.
learned.
Hmm. Yeah,
Just
yeah, yeah,
because you
for
don't
sure.
have, for the people who are starting out, just because your talent is not at the maximum, as long as you love it, and because you could easily do something for almost 24 hours nonstop, but because you love it and people be looking at you like, yo, you need to eat, you haven't had it, like all of this, and you're like, yeah, I'm
Hmm.
good, because
Yeah,
there is
yeah,
a place
see,
you want to get
yeah.
to before. No, trust me, I know. So, and
Yeah.
if you have that feeling about anything, please, I beg you, do not give up. Like, just go 100% in it, even if it takes 3 days to do whatever. Just, yeah,
Hmm.
the message is, if you love it, and you will know when you love something, you know.
Yeah,
Like,
there is like a
get addicted to it as much as your song says about.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
You
yeah, I
know.
was gonna add that, like, there was this book that I love. It's called
Mm,
Outliers. It's by Malcolm Gladwell. And
mm,
there was like one chapter that talks about like 10,000 hours of practice. Like, he
mm,
recommends that, like, if you spend, like, if you're passionate about something, and then, like, get to spend like quality 10,000 hours doing it, there's
mm,
no way you're,
mm.
you're not gonna succeed in that thing. So,
Yeah.
like, in short, like, it's just like invest. as much time as you possibly can, and
Mm.
like as long as you don't give up, it's always gonna end like a turnaround, and then yeah.
Yeah, and I'll say this: one of the challenges that we've had as African is coming to Canada is a lot of the time we come here and we focus on work because the first thing is make money, get apartment, whatever. And
Yeah.
halfway through, you realize, wait, that's not really what I wanted to do. And so for young people, I really commend you to look at just yeah, go for what you love. Of course, if the challenges that come in when you just come in is they're real, we're not sort of pretending they're not there, but the hustle also is real. And if you find something that you love, don't give up on that. Do that and do the work or go to school like you do. But at the end of the day, I think the 10,000 hours that you're talking about, once you get through those 10,000 hours, you're gonna thank yourself for having not given up. And yeah, absolutely. I really appreciate it, man. Blameless. We could talk forever. I mean, there is so much that I wanted to talk about, but I think mostly I just wanted to focus on your industry, the music industry, and to see because again, for us here, we have a platform where we're trying to connect African Canadians. We're trying to see who are like the people that are doing great work that we can actually expose or highlight. And we really wanted to highlight you, and of course, highlighting you means we're highlighting other artists in the Rwandan community. And so we really appreciate you having joined us today.
Yeah. Thank you for having me, and yeah, I look forward to those other projects that you mentioned, and yeah, I can't wait.
Absolutely, man. I'll be calling you. I'll be calling you when we start the project. It's coming soon. It's the I don't know if you've seen. I have some posts. The Prince of Nubia. It's a documentary series that we are working on. It's a personal project that I'm doing, but definitely we'll be letting you know. Also, you definitely keep in touch. Let us know what's coming up.
Yeah. Well, I'll definitely let you know, like when my album is out, which is pretty soon. Like I'm still like finalizing the projects, but yeah. So I will, the people will know when the album is out. I can't wait.
Good stuff. Yeah, I look forward to it, and definitely we're gonna revisit this and talk about some of those songs, but also look at the challenge that I want to raise that as a challenge for you, but for everybody in the African community. Let's support our artists by creating these level of performance. Like we need these concerts. I want to see these concerts at least once every month. There should be a concert in every city across Canada. I want to see these things. So, whomever is listening, if you have those talents, come on, let's go. Like the opportunity is open. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, brother. Stay safe. Good luck at school, and keep doing what you do, man.
All right, you stay safe too, and yeah, thank you for having me.
All right. All right. So tonight I want to challenge event planners, promoters, and anybody who is responsible for holding concerts, bringing together people for celebration of cultural arts and different activities that are being done by our young artists. I'm bringing this challenge to you because I'm finding that we have the talent, we have the people, but for some reason, our art, or at least the outcome of the work that we are doing as artists, is being celebrated or at least being showcased by outsiders. When you look at the big names in Toronto, like The Weeknd, Drake, and all of these people, when they fill stadiums, it's not being done by the people, like the African Canadians or black people here in Toronto. And I'm challenging everybody, especially for the African Canadians. What is required or what is needed? I was talking to an artist earlier today that is doing work in Montreal, a Rwandan artist, and I asked him this because I know every artist is looking for this. Every artist is looking for that support because when they do the work, when they are busy crafting a song and putting a song together, at the end of the day, they want to bring it out to the people. And of course, there is YouTube, there is all of these different digital platforms that they can actually do, showcase the songs and everything. But there is nothing like being in live event, being able to show your music to people who are excited to hear it. And this is where you come in, as an event planner, as a promoter. The way you do that in clubs, which obviously we are in COVID, so but the way you do that kind of planning for clubs where you could fill clubs every night or at least every Friday. I'm challenging us to do the same thing for I don't know, maybe you feel Air Canada. I don't know if maybe you feel Bell Center in Montreal. Whatever you need to do. But we need to see more of your work on a higher level, where you can bring in the biggest artists from Africa maybe, and mix it up with some of the artists here in Toronto, in Montreal, in Vancouver, but really give these young artists the exposure they need. They are artists, that's what they do, that's what they're good at. Where are you as an event planner? Where are you as a producer? What are all these other pieces that need to come together for the African Canadians to actually have their talents showcased in Canada? Because we know our music wants to be heard. We know we're the best talent the planet has to offer. We've seen that. Question is, are our people benefiting from it? And that's where you come in. If you're a promoter, if you're an event planner, I'm challenging you today. Let's look at what we do. Let's evaluate how we approach it. And let's actually add that piece, the Black piece, the African piece, the individual community piece. Let's promote these artists. Let's show their work to our people, but also to the Canadian overall. Let's do it right. Let's promote it right. Let's brand it right. Let's have that audience for our own, not just do things out there. And when you do it right. Take time. Show us once a month, one in Montreal, one in Toronto, one in Vancouver. Let's do for us as we do for the rest of the world. That's my challenge to you today.